Some of you might be feeling like my Bitmoji. You're just exhausted. You might be feeling a little bit burnout. So today we're going to talk about classroom management because with COVID, some of our students are not used to the routine or they're not used to being in school for 8 hours. And we're seeing a lot of grit, not a whole lot of grit, I guess. We're feeling exhausted as teachers. So I'm going to kind of talk about some different strategies you could use. So right here, maybe you're not able to accomplish as much as you would like because your students are misbehaving. So again, maybe sometimes you're feeling this way and you're just exhausted and you're feeling like these transitions are taking longer than expected. I'm not able to teach as much as I was in the past because of the different behaviors you're seeing in your classroom. And so idea number one is 15 minutes. So right here, students have a board and it's like, I will. They're going to see this throughout the class. You could print this out. You could project this up on your board. You could kind of make it smaller if you have other slides, but they need to see visuals and they also need to hear what they're expected to do. And so, for example, right here, I will, and then maybe it's asking quick questions. And if I have a question, I'm going to fill out a post-it note. I will use a 0.5 voice level today. I am going to maybe follow the teacher's directions. Okay. Figure out what 5 things you want your students to do. I would not go over 5. Some classes, you might just focus on 2 things. So just kind of think about your students and think about how much can they handle and how can I get them to start feeling some of that success for following those directions. You also kind of want to think about um, the students in your class, because is this going to be a competition between 3 classes? Is this going to be a competition between the groups in your classes? How many minutes are they going to earn? Is it going to be 10 minutes, 15? Is this going to be a weekly goal, or do your students need um, some type of reward right away? So again, think about your students and think about how often they need that reward in order to do this activity. I typically give 5 seconds increments. So I'll say 5, 10, 15, 20 until we get to 60, and then I'll make it a minute. If there's a sub where they do something really, really out of that wows me, I might give them a minute. So again, they're trying to earn 10 minutes. And you can kind of decide how often your students need to hear their positive feedback. Students are going to collaboratively come up with a class reward. So they're going to work with you, come up with that class reward, and you're going to vote on it. So it could be extra gym, it could be extra recess, technology time, PJ day. It could be anything like that. YouTube for 15 minutes. Okay. Students can allow, and you want them to be a part of that process in the voting. For more details, you can watch this video that's linked on the advice column. The next idea is work and reset. So this is an idea by Tara Ruckman, and she is amazing. If you have not worked with her, you need to. So what happens is there is like a choice board on the outside of this board. Students have to meet 2 goals. So you set a timer for 30 minutes and they have to work hard for those 30 minutes. If your class time is different, you might change that time. Instead of 30 minutes, you might do 20 minutes. But I would suggest doing no higher than 30. So again, they're going to have choices around the board, and then they have to do those 2 goals. They have to raise their hand if they have something to say. They also need to use maybe nice words with their friends. So you're going to think about what are those 2 goals, and then the teacher is going to work around those boards to try to figure. The students will work around those boards in order to do that. Here's another example I did. So again, here's the choices around the board. There's a success criteria. So they have to raise their hand to speak and they will stay in their space. They get 1 warning for the first round. Okay, so again, we set the timer for 30 minutes or 20, 25 minutes, depending. The second round, maybe they don't get a warning. Their name automatically gets written down. So this would be the second round. And you can do this as many rounds as you need to, but I kept the goals consistent. Right here, if the students do not meet the expectations, they have a reflection time with the teacher. And so I did this with a teacher, and we had 2 students that did not meet expectations. So they came with me and we had just a conversation about how we can help them. And The second round, there were no issues with those students. So this is a great activity to quickly work with students and to reflect on their behavior. So the first thing is, what was a challenge during the work time? And we just talked. I asked them that question and they just told me, hey, I was talking out because of this, or I was on YouTube because of this, or I was doing whatever. They're just talking that out. Then the second question, what went well during the work time? I try to point out positives that they did. I might say, after two warnings, you did stop, or you did get back on task after I did talk to you. And then the third one, what would you change and how can I help? I love the how can I help. So do you need more reminders? Do you need more prompting? Do you need me to say, hey, we still got 20 more minutes until that break time? So I just kind of think about, like, how can I help you, and have the students kind of collaborate with you on that question. And then also thinking about, like, how are you going to change and work hard? And then the fourth one, what can you try next time to meet your goal? So just what can you do to meet these two goals, and just working with that student. And there's a 5-minute timer, so the other students are having that free time while you're having this conversation. And then I also kind of play it up, and I kind of say, all right, 30 seconds left, start heading back to your seat. So we can begin again. And if they can't do that, I'll take time off their timer, just to help with that transition time as well. But timers can really help with those transition times, so students can see and they can kind of hear how much time they have left to complete something. Idea number 3 is coupons. So setting up a classroom economy can really help your students as well with classroom management. And this was a make and take, so feel free to add to this resource and you can watch the video here. But it was just coming up with different class coupons: tech time, music, design, note home. Maybe it is snack day, assignment cut, gum day, lunch with the principal, lunch with the teacher, read to the class. So just come in here, find a blank slide, add your own ideas, or maybe you already have some tickets already designed. You feel free to link them right in here. But again, it can just be really cool to come in here and see all these different rewards from other teachers that are collaborating too. And you can kind of cut these out, and you can keep the ones that you like or get rid of the ones that you don't like, or recreate your own. I used Canva to create mine, so feel free to create your own, or kind of take a look and use what's already here and just kind of customize it for your classroom. And then the last thing is, Tara and I are going to be having a course, and this course is going to start in January. And so if you want more support, or you like these ideas and you could see these working in your classroom and you're like, oh, I'm ready for more. Because classroom management is not natural for everyone. And I think sometimes I even forgot that I had to teach the kids how to behave. I thought they would just know and get it, but that's not always the case. And so we are offering a course. It's going to be about procedures and practice. And so here's the agenda link. And then if you are interested, please sign up. We would love to have you. And so we want to just kind of talk about, how can we co-plan a class reset day? We can also help with that. So if you don't want to take the whole course, that is 15 hours, but you do want support in having that classroom management, please sign up. There is a place for you to co-plan with us, and we can also co-teach with you, to kind of model. Maybe you're like, oh, I'm interested in this strategy, but I can't visualize how it's going to work in my classroom. Fill out the Google form. We can come in and we can support you on that. If you have any questions, let us know. But we would also love to hear from you. So if you do have questions, send us an email or a Google chat message, or you can fill out the Google form and you can add your own ideas. Maybe you use something in your classroom for classroom management that really works well and you want to share it with others. Just come on this Google form, fill it out, click classroom management and what your resource is, or even text details about it, or you can create a video and add that there. But we would love to see, so we can add to our collection of resources. So again, 15 minutes, work and reset, coupons course, and that course is starting in January.